Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the horror movie called Censor. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The movie started with Enid Baines, a woman working for the British Board of Film Classification in 1985. Her primary work was to limit violent content by making cuts to movies or any media. Enid was known as Little Miss Perfect because she insisted that violent content be removed or banned, and always ensured that her work was precise and error-free. As violence can have a negative impact on society, Enid thought that it should be less prevalent in the media, as seen when she was in a meeting with the higher-ups. When Enid was at home, she received a call from her parents inviting her to dinner. While having dinner, they presented her with the death certificate of her sister Nina, who disappeared when they were still young and had been declared dead by her parents. But Enid objected and still believed her to be alive. After that instance, the rest of the dinner became tense. When Enid got home, she opened a box filled with her sister's photos and newspaper clippings about her disappearance. Enid, together with another co-worker, was called one day by their boss, Fraser, to inform them about a recent killing in a tabloid newspaper where a man ripped his wife's face and killed his children, and it was apparently linked to the killings in a movie Enid had rated months earlier, identifying her as the censor who approved the movie to be published. After that incident, Enid started receiving threatening phone calls, and the paparazzi were waiting for her by the door in her office. Her sister's disappearance played over and over in her mind as a result of all the stress. One day, a movie producer by the name of Doug Smart was in their office and started flirting with Enid, making her very uncomfortable. She was then informed that one of Frederick North's earlier films, Don't Go in the Church, had allegedly been personally requested by the seasoned horror director. As she watched the movie, Enid found it odd when the two girls in the movie played the same game as the one she and Nina were playing when she disappeared. Then, the more she watched the movie, the more she noticed that it depicted similar events to how she remembered the day Nina disappeared. Her tears slowly dripped down her face, and she had to close her eyes when it was getting too heavy for her. She then rushed out of the cinema room and puked in the bathroom. When she got out, Perkins, a fellow censor, comforted her and offered a conversation. He then discussed with her how people can edit or block out events in the past because of trauma. Later that night, she called her mom while looking at photos and records of her sister. She was about to discuss the movie with her, but she was unable to finish and hung up the phone. She then had a nightmare of her reliving the day her sister disappeared and her mother blaming her for it. One day, while at work, she suddenly had an interest in Friedrich North, but there wasn't much information about him. Enid then entered a movie store and noticed that the store owner was keeping banned movies when a customer gave him a movie discreetly. She was then able to persuade the owner to sell her a copy of one of North's banned movies. She watched the movie when she got home and was so taken aback by how much her sister resembled Alice Lee, the main character, that she had to keep pausing it to make sure. She then went to her parents' house and told them about her discovery, but it just infuriated them, and they told her to stop, because it had already become a habit of hers to present erroneous possibilities to them. Enid then became obsessed with meeting North after she became very sure that Lee was her missing sister and that she needed to be rescued from the exploitation film business. Enid then went to the storage of films in her workplace to collect Smart's address so she could talk to him about North and Lee. Enid then visited Smart at his house and lied that she was just around the area, and he tells her that North has attempted to rape her while filming the Don't Go sequel nearby. He invited her in and offered her a glass of scotch. Enid started to ask sly questions about North, and she found out that he was in the middle of filming a sequel for his movie Don't Go in the Church. She then found the perfect opportunity to ask about Lee when she saw her picture on the table, and Smart agreed when Enid told him that she looked like her. Smart then started to get annoyed with Enid's questions about North and started pushing himself onto Enid, but she was rejecting him. When he became more pushy and wrapped his hands around her, Enid pushed him away, tripped, and unintentionally impaled him through the back of his head on a movie award. Enid watches in disbelief as Smart passes away, unable to comprehend what just happened. She then went home and was in a dissociative state as she watched a static channel on her TV while listening to a caller harassing her on the phone. When she went to work one day, she spotted her co-workers watching one of North's films. She then grabbed North's files from the file room and directly walked out of the building. Enid then dove to the set of North's latest film, where Debbie, the makeup artist, mistook her for being an actress in the film. She was then brought to a trailer where her makeup and hair were done. She then went on set, where she met North in person, and he told her that her movies were based on real-life events. North then did everything to access her emotions. Enid then killed an actor with an axe, thinking that he was going to hurt her sister. Everyone was terrified, especially Alice, who ran as far as she could. Enid then begged for Alice to please be her before collapsing in the woods. A remote control appears in Enid's hand, and she presses a button. Enid woke up and had a vision of her sister, who appeared to be happy and thanked Enid for finding her. They then drove to Enid's parents' house, where they were happy. It turns out Enid kidnapped Alice, who is begging Enid's parents for help as Enid smiles. The movie ended with the movie Censor popping out of a VHS tape and revealing that the movie was a movie in a movie.